Letters shined on the side. OLWRATH, the soul's wrath. More ships followed, enormous and silent. They looked older than time. They looked like they had witnessed many wars. Every alien watching felt their hearts shake. The humans had not lied. Inside the Star Spear, officers panicked. "Captain, should we fire? Should we call reinforcements? Those ships are war machines." Rallos raised a hand to silence them. His voice was calm, but his breathing was not. "No, we observe. No one attacks Earth, not now." He watched humans cheer around the rising ships. There was no fear in human eyes, only pride, like they were meeting old friends. Human engineers and pilots entered the ships easily, as if the ships remembered them. A thought entered Ralos's mind. Humans were not learning the technology. They were awakening it, he wondered. What else were they hiding? Inside the council hall, more voices rose. Angry, frightened, confused. "You hid weapons older than our civilizations. You lied to the galaxy. You are a threat." Ambassador Holt stood firm. "We hid to protect everyone," he said. "Those ships were built in ancient times. They were locked away to stop a danger that would return one day." That day was now close. A counselor asked, "What danger?" Holt paused. His face looked sad. The Abyssal Swarm. Many aliens shivered. They knew the name only from myths. A species of hunger. A force that destroyed worlds, leaving only empty silence behind. Some believed they never existed. Humans knew the truth. Humans had fought them, and barely survived. "They are returning," Holt whispered. "We must be ready." Captain Rallos contacted the council from his ship. "We must not antagonize humans," he advised. "We must listen. If the swarm is real, we need those warships." But some leaders disagreed. The powerful Draken Empire prepared a strike fleet. They feared humans might attack first. Their ships armed weapons and aimed at Earth's orbit. "Prepare a warning message," the Draken commander growled. "If humans do not surrender these warships, we will destroy them." Fear turned into aggression. High above Earth, space shimmered like rippling heat. The Abyssal Swarm had arrived earlier than expected. Dark shapes crawled through an unnatural portal. They were not ships, but moving creatures made of black metal and sharp energy. They looked like giant insects with glowing red eyes. Their screeches echoed through space, shaking satellites apart. All alien fleets froze. The nightmare was real. The soul's wrath moved first. It opened its ancient engines, and a bright blue aura surrounded it. Then a calm voice echoed across every communication channel. "Sol fleet activated. Defensive protocol restored. Protect Earth and the galaxy." Humans on board pressed no buttons. The ship acted like it already knew what to do. The first shot fired. A beam of pure light cut through the nearest swarm creature. It exploded without a sound. Another beam fired, and another enemy turned to dust. The ancient human warships moved gracefully, like dancers in a deadly ballet. Their weapons were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. The swarm stopped advancing. They realized they had awakened their old enemy. Captain Rallos stared in awe. How can humans be so calm? "They are fighting monsters from history," his first officer whispered, voice shaking. "Maybe this is natural for them." Rallos felt something new inside himself. Respect. Maybe humans were not hiding weakness. Maybe humans were hiding responsibility. The battle lasted only minutes. The swarm retreated into the portal, leaving silence behind. The ancient ships stopped firing and slowly returned to Earth's orbit, watching like guardians. Ambassador Holt ended the broadcast with the council. "We did not want power. We wanted peace, but peace needs protection, and we are ready to protect." Some alien leaders looked angry. Others looked ashamed for doubting humans. Many looked relieved. Rallos smiled. "Maybe humans are exactly what the galaxy needs," he said. His first officer finally agreed. "Yes, they are different. In a good way." Night fell over Earth. Cities lit up with celebration. Families looked up at the warships shining in the sky. For the first time, they understood their old history was not lost. It was just sleeping. A human child pointed upward. "Are those our ships?" she asked, smiling wide. Her mother hugged her gently. "Yes, they always belonged to us." Above them, the soul's wrath glowed brighter, like a promise. Humanity had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same. The galaxy changed overnight. Humans were no longer seen as newcomers. Now every star nation understood that humanity carried an ancient power and an ancient responsibility. But peace did not return so easily. The abyssal swarm had tested the defenses. The small attack at Earth was only a warning, a whisper of the storm that was coming. Captain Ralos could not sleep. He stared out the wide glass windows of his command ship, the Star Spear, still positioned near Earth. The stars looked peaceful, but he knew danger hid behind their light. His first officer approached quietly. "You worry about the swarm," she said. Ralos nodded. "They will come again, stronger. And next time they will not attack alone. They will try to break the galaxy." The first officer crossed her arms. "Do you think humans can win again?" Ralos took a deep breath. "I think humans can do things no one understands." On Earth, Ambassador Daniel Holt sat inside the United Council chamber. Holograms of leaders from every major alien species surrounded him. Voices filled the hall with fear and doubt. "We must control human warships," a Dracon general demanded. "If humans decide to use them against us, we are all doomed." Holt stayed calm. "You saw what we fought. You saw how fast they came. If we did not stop them, Earth would be gone. Your planets would be next." A soft voice came from the Atheli counselor Solara. "We should unite," she said kindly. "Separate, we all fall. Together, we can protect every star." The room became quiet. Solara looked at Holt. Humanity did not ask for power, but now the galaxy needs that power. Holt nodded. "We never wanted war. But the swarm is coming for us all. Alone we are weak. Together we are strong." Slowly, one by one, the leaders agreed. For the first time in history, the galaxy would fight as one. On the moon base, human engineers walked through long corridors inside the Soul's Wrath. Blue lights glowed on the walls. The ship felt alive. It hummed like it had a heartbeat. Commander Elena Ward, leader of the Sol fleet, studied the main control chamber. It was shaped like a circle, with glowing symbols floating in the air. The symbols responded when she came closer, lighting pathways across the ship. "It feels like the ship knows us," she whispered. Her chief engineer smiled. "Because it does. Our ancestors built this technology. It is part of us." Before they could speak more, the ship's AI voice echoed. "Incoming transmission. Unknown location. High priority." A projection appeared, a dark star system covered in shadows. Strange circular holes formed in space, low, like wounds opening. It was the swarm. They were gathering in massive numbers. Elena felt cold. "That is a full invasion force," the AI responded. "Estimated time until arrival, 72 hours. 72 hours. 3 days until doomsday." Warning alarms rang across the galaxy. Every fleet prepared. Thousands of ships moved toward the defensive line near the edge of explored space. The humans, with their newly awakened warships, led the center formation. Captain Ralos and his Star Spear joined their right flank. He felt honored and terrified to stand beside humans. As he watched the Soul's Wrath take position, he whispered to himself, "Show us what humanity truly is." The galaxy waited. On the bridge of the Soul's Wrath, Commander Elena stood ready. Her voice was strong. "Defend this galaxy. Defend every life. We fight not for power, but for survival." Every crew member nodded. Then space ripped open. The abyssal swarm arrived. The swarm looked like a black ocean of living metal. Millions of sharp creatures flew out of portals, huge ones that looked like dark castles with wings and claws. Their screams carried through communication systems like broken static. Alien ships fired first. Lasers, missiles, plasma strikes. Explosions filled space, but the swarm kept pushing forward. They did not fear death. They only wanted to consume. The Soul's Wrath aimed its massive main cannon. The AI voice spoke calmly. "Ancient protocol, galaxy shield, activated." A giant beam flashed outward, splitting into hundreds of smaller lights. Those lights created a giant shield covering the entire Allied fleet. The enemy attacks bounced off the shield, unable to break through. Cheers erupted across every ship. "We would be destroyed without them," Captain Ralos said with respect. But the swarm did not stop. They focused their attack on the shield, trying to break it with more force. The shield shook like a storm was hitting it. "They found the weak point," the engineer shouted on Soul's Wrath. The AI confirmed. "Shield integrity, 70%. 60%, 50%. The enemy was learning. They would break through soon. Commander Elena knew what she had to do. Offense now, she ordered. We cannot only defend. The ancient warships moved forward. The Soul's Wrath fired its heavy cannons again and again. Each shot destroyed hundreds of swarm units. Other human ships unleashed energy arcs that linked together, a powerful grid that crushed entire waves of enemies. For every enemy destroyed, more arrived. It felt like trying to stop a flood with bare hands. Alien fleets pushed with humans. Ralos commanded his ships, follow the humans' lead. They know this enemy. His ships flew side by side with human fighters, protecting each other. The galaxy worked together like a single force. Still, the swarm pressed forward. Suddenly, the enemy opened a new giant portal behind the Allied fleet. A trap. Huge swarm titans came through, massive beasts with armored bodies and wings bigger than cities. They struck with enormous beams of dark energy. The shield finally broke. Explosions erupted everywhere. Ships were hit and sent spinning into darkness. Screams filled communications. It was chaos. For a moment, fear took over every heart. Had they lost? Elena refused to give up. She stabilized herself and pointed to the enemy portal. If we destroy that portal, the swarm cannot send more forces. But how? Her engineer asked. It is protected by titans. The AI offered a solution. One option, the ancient core cannon. High damage. But using it may destroy the ship as well. Elena closed her eyes for a second. Sacrifice. It was what humanity always did for others. We do it, she said. Calculate the shot. Fire when ready. Captain Ralos heard the plan through the Alliance channel. His voice cracked. Elena, wait. You will not survive. She smiled sadly. If this saves the galaxy, then it is worth it. Ralos shouted to his crew. All ships protect the Soul's Wrath. Give them time. Every Allied ship moved to form a wall around the ancient flagship. The swarm attacked harder than ever. They wanted to stop the cannon. Ships were torn apart. The wall weakened but held strong. The Soul's Wrath began charging. Light filled the ship like a rising sun. Core cannon 80%, 90%, 100%, firing. A beam brighter than day burst forwarding, pure energy from humanity's forgotten past. It hit the giant portal. Silence. The portal collapsed into nothing. The swarm roared in confusion. Their connection broke. No more reinforcements. The galaxy took back hope. But the Soul's Wrath did not move. Its lights turned dark. Its engines stopped. Commander. Elena's voice was weak. We stopped them. Humanity stands with you. Protect the stars. Then her signal faded. The ancient flagship fell silent. The swarm, without reinforcement, grew confused. Their formation broke apart. The Allied fleets unleashed everything they had left. Together, humans, Virex, Atheli, Drakon, and many more, they destroyed the last of the enemy forces. The battle was over. Victory, but the cost was heavy. When silence returned to space, every surviving ship faced the Soul's Wrath. It drifted slowly, damaged but still whole. It looked like a sleeping giant. Captain Ralos contacted all fleets. Remember this day. Humanity did not save themselves. They saved all of us. No one argued. Humanity had proven its heart, not conquerors, not monsters, guardians. Ambassador Holt spoke to the council once again. His voice was filled with emotion. We will repair the Soul's Wrath, he promised. We will prepare for when the swarm returns. And we will never again hide from our duty. Solara, the Atheli counselor, smiled warmly. You have our respect, and our friendship. Thousands of ships blinked their lights toward Earth, a salute of gratitude. On Earth, the same little girl saw the Soul's Wrath in the sky. She didn't know what happened in the battle, but she knew one thing. Humans were heroes. She held her mother's hand and pointed up happily. Look, our ship is still there. Her mother nodded with tears in her eyes. Yes. And one day, maybe you will fly it. The ship's silent lights flickered gently, like a heartbeat returning. The galaxy would rebuild, humanity would lead, and the stars would always have a guardian. Because when danger called, humanity answered with courage and love, and they always would. The end, or a new beginning,